do.
What's going to happen to the Warlocks this week? Let's find out.
And my transitions aren't working.
Okay, you could have done some more spice on that intro, but that's fine.
I'm tired, dude, all right?
Welcome to another exciting episode of Too Many Warlocks. I, as always, am your benevolent dungeon master, Puck, and I am joined today by far too many warlocks, starting with the diminutive of stature, but certainly not of spirit, Kithri Tealeaf. Also joining me today is the sometimes wooden, sometimes eccentric Richard Bennett.
Always eccentric.
Always eccentric. Followed by Richard Bennett, we have our always studious new lead decision maker, Penn. And followed by Penn, we have the always delightful Guy and his mustache joining us today.
Hello.
When last we left our heroes, they had journeyed to a town that had been taken over by a little girl who had been taken over by a demon who did not like being in the little girl, and some things happened. It was kind of a heavy episode, but everybody made it out alive, more or less, and they find themselves on their cart ride home. When we left everybody off, they had just camped for the night, and now the night has passed, and we've gone into morning, and you guys are packing up the camp, and I'll kind of leave you guys open to roleplay for a little bit.
All right. So
it's morning time. You're by the side of the road. You've packed up your cart, and you're getting ready to get going. You guys want to have any conversations with each other? Any interactions? Have at her.
So, Guy, you looked a little different when we were in the chapel.
Oh yeah, that cat is kind of out of the bag now, eh? It take a lot to piss me off, but when I get sometimes pissed off, I turn into that other thing you saw there, eh? A big secret, I'm not really a human, eh? Let's face it, no human is this pretty, eh?
All right. So what are you then, Guy, if you don't mind sharing with the class?
It is actually, as we watch being misspelt on the screen, I am actually an ASMR.
Oh, that's
I can see why
You're
you
complete with fourth wall jokes now.
I can see why you would spell it that way, but
It seems more
especially with this guy. But yeah, I am actually, I am basically, how you say, fallen angel, eh?
But how do you
That's
spell?
way to put it. 2 A's.
2 A's?
Yep, starts with a double A.
Whatever.
That way you're first on the phone all the time.
I have my Volos.
Volo's guide.
Yeah, Volo's Guide to
There
Monster
you go.
Zombie.
Excellent.
When
Who
they're
is it?
not happy.
That's what I turn into, eh?
Okay, look, see, I made up a new overlay, but other things got changed last minute, so
It's all
Yeah.
good.
It's fine.
We'll just pretend nothing's happening.
We'll do it live.
All right. So now we know that about Guy.
Yeah, say hello to the real me, eh?
I mean, it was a little shocking, but I guess as long as you're on our side.
Oh, by the way, you did really well. Most people poop the first time they see me do that, eh?
When you've seen Drider, you tend to not be fazed by much.
Speaking of which, Richard, now that we're talking about secrets, you said you have a mission, and we haven't been informed on that yet. That was a while back you said that.
So, the long and the short of it is I have to steal something.
Okay.
Or take something from someone that doesn't really want it to be taken from them.
Mm-hmm. And are you intending to do that with help or alone?
Depends on how you feel about stealing from Owen Stone.
Huck, would I know who that is?
Yeah.
Do a history check for me, and I'll tell you what you know, sir.
All right.
Because I don't know who that is.
I really don't, believe it or not.
Can I also do a history check?
Absolutely. Anybody who's heard this can certainly do a check and see what they know about this person. Okay, so Pen, you have heard of an Owen Stone, usually in news on business dealings in the city. But you're not terribly familiar with him. You probably wouldn't be able to like pick him out of a crowd or something.
Mm-hmm. All right. Keep
But-
Apparently he frequents.
You understand that he represents somebody very wealthy and powerful.
Okay. I guess to that I would be just kind of like, oh, that's someone to get mixed up with. But you know, if for the right reasons, I suppose.
The one thing you don't do is piss off your patron or a patron's son.
Ah. Well, that I can I can't sympathize with, but I can try.
At least you know your patron.
Yeah.
Orphan over here.
Which also reminds me, back when we were in the Mad Mage's Tower, Guy, you came in on me speaking with my patron, but what happened with that? Because I was completely out of it up until that point.
I was kind of open. You wouldn't remember that bit. You were just about to find out who your patron was, and I bumble into the room, act like an asshole, and fuck it all up for you, eh?
But how and why? Because I was trying to figure out what happened to everyone in that room, because I, up until that point, was just in that kind of losing my mind. And then we found Key3 talking to someone who wasn't her grandfather. We don't know what happened to Richard, which would also be enlightening, but I'm just trying to understand what was going on with each of us there.
You know that big eye?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't look at me, so I blow in it, and then it looked at me, and then I think that broke the connection with you, maybe?
Okay.
Hmm.
You blew on it, just a little blow on it.
You know how sometimes when you really need to get someone attention, you do crazy thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I blow in his big eye.
That doesn't sound super godlike, but
It seemed better than putting bugs in it, which is my other choice.
no, not your response.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm not, because I was completely mad. And then Key3, we ran into you having that conversation with your grandfather, but it wasn't your grandfather.
Yes, grandpa, not grandpa, I guess. I've had one run-in with him at that thing before.
And then Richard, do you want to share with us what happened to you?
I was turning into a tree.
Even more so?
More so, yeah. You guys were all dealing with your worst nightmares, and I was dealing with not my worst nightmare.
Okay.
It was very weird.
Okay.
To hear about this all secondhand afterwards.
I'm just gonna chalk that up to weird occurrences. I'm not gonna say anything did or didn't definitely happen. So we'll just go from there. But
If you want, I think I know who did it.
So, Guy, what did you experience?
It was the worst thing in the world. No one could hear me. No one could see me. I was there, but no one paid attention. It was horrible, eh? I almost stopped being.
And then you found your way to me.
I panicked and I ran out and then I bumped into you and everything go crazy. Speaking of crazy, Key3, if I'm not mistaken, you talk to a sword?
Yes?
Okay, because that's not crazy at all, eh? It talks back to you?
Well, yeah, I'm not just like talking to a inanimate object.
No, because that would be crazy, eh?
Yeah, but
To be fair, I've heard it as well. When I listened in the first time they were interacting, I could hear them having a conversation, both sides. So she's telling the truth.
So it's for real a talking sword?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh shit, maybe I only got the second coolest thing in this party. I pull out the wand.
So in this time, you guys have kind of managed to pack up the cart and you're getting ready to go. You're moving east along the Iron Road towards the kind of Wumford area and into the Desserin Valley where the Avalon Knights Academy is. As you travel along the road, you're moving along next to a high forest. And this young boy runs out of the woods and towards your cart. And he's kind of disheveled and he actually has a wound on his head. And he's trying to flag you guys down.
Is the high forest the forest that Guy and I were in the first
No,
time? Okay,
that was Neverwinter Woods.
got it. Okay. Oh, so I guess I mean we should stop, shouldn't we?
This is a child?
Yeah.
He's about 12, 13 years old.
Okay, off the cart, mace in hand, pushing, like past him, pushing him towards the cart and going where he was.
Okay. So he's,
We
hey,
have to follow, don't we?
I follow you on crazy missions. Now it's your turn. Eh?
my name is William. You have to help. Our cart was attacked by some beasts. My sister's still over there.
What kind of beasts? Just so we know what to prepare for.
I don't know. I don't get out of town a lot. They're big and green.
Where?
Over there, and he kind of points like up the roads, just along a bend in the road and partially into the woods.
Okay. We should probably take the cart there to get there faster.
Into the woods we go.
Is he telling the truth?
Go ahead and insight that. See if you know. You feel like this kid's on the level. He seems visibly frightened.
We should definitely go.
All right, she's still there. Like she might still be okay. We got to save her. Come on.
Can we pull him onto the cart and
Yeah,
Guy
yeah.
as well?
You throw him up and the horse kind of.
When they catch up to me, I'll jump back on the cart. 'Cause
The horse quickly gallops off, and it's not before long that you kind of round the bend and you see this cart toppled over with a bunch of barrels tumbled out behind it and a dead horse in front of the cart. And the whole scene appears to be abandoned. And the boy quickly gets out of the cart and starts looking around.
I say we check the horse first.
Michelle, where'd you go?
Was it just you and your sister?
Yeah, it was just the two of us. We were transporting these barrels.
Hmm.
I'm searching the area.
Yeah.
All right. Which portions of the area are you all searching?
I'll go through the barrels.
Okay.
I'll look for like footprints right around the cart.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be looking at the perimeter, like the edge line, to see any like pads or broken stuff outward.
Okay.
Head over here towards the sort of the tree line.
Perfect. Yeah, you can ping, and I see like where the ping is on my.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like it gives me a colored circle and it tells me where you guys are going. So that's great. All right, so we will start with Richard. No, wait, we'll end with Richard. K3, you were checking the cart, right?
Really good.
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
around the cart.
Yeah.
Roll an investigation check for
Did that go through?
me. Roll a perception check. roll a better.
What's a better number than that?
Barely.
just barely. Okay, well,
We'll add them together.
so with your investigation, you only notice kind of the really obvious stuff. The wheels, the back two wheels of the cart, look like they've been tore open. So the spokes have been the wooden spokes have been shattered. So they're definitely not going to turn anymore. And the horse has like massive slash marks in it. Some 5-handed claws have gone through this horse to just murder it dead. And With your perception, you notice on the ground on the other side of the cart, away from the road, you see a woman's finger. You can tell it has a painted nail, and there's a ring on it.
I will pick it up and try and kind of hide it and be like, William, what color nail polish is your sister wearing?
Usually dark red. And it is dark red.
Gotcha. No reason.
No reason. Nothing in particular.
I will try and go close to whoever is closest and
Okay.
let them know.
All right. The sword or the ring has an emblem on it.
Aha.
And the emblem looks kind of like this. If you can see it at all. No.
Not really.
Kind
Not
I
really.
can see it.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
There we go. I'll go slower up close with it. There we go. All right.
Okay.
Are those flames or fruits?
Or souls.
Well, you discern what you will from the design.
Fruit.
The person who made the ring was exactly as good of an artist as I am. So, give me an investigation check for your area around the forest.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going slowly. And then poorly as well.
Yeah, you don't notice too many things particularly out of the ordinary. Looks like a tree line to me.
Yep.
Pen, where were you taking a look?
I was doing the perimeter,
Just doing a perimeter check overall. All right, give me your investigation check.
There's finally a number.
Ooh. You notice that there are tracks for William, there are tracks for the horse, and there are tracks for the cart. There are no tracks for any other creatures. You also notice that there are 5 ravens perched on trees around you guys, just watching what's going on here.
Is Kithri near me?
No, you're on the perimeter. She's on the cart.
Okay. Can I just
Person closest to Kithri is currently Richard.
Oh, I'm going to call out to Kithri with my awakened mind.
Okay.
I'm just gonna real nonchalantly be like, "Hey, Kithri. So there's a lot of tracks coming in, but I don't see any or many going out. But there are some very strange birds in the tree line. If you would mind checking, I'd love to see if they're magical, because there's something weird about them."
Okay. I will use my Eldritch Sight and look over and try and see those birds.
Okay. You turn on your Eldritch Sight. When you look at the birds, all of these birds are familiars.
Oh. So I will reply back with awakened mind and go, so they're all familiars?
All right. So, Richard, you were investigating the barrels. Give me your investigation check there.
Oh, this is going to go badly, isn't it? It's going to be like time. Investigation.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Oh,
So
no.
you start rifling through the barrels. A lot of them are pretty heavy. They're all full of some kind of ale. While you're looking through the barrels, the one barrel that is still upright and not on its side, and Pen, you start to take notice of this because of your perception check, although you're too far away to do anything about it. The barrel sprouts 2 arms and then 2 more.
No.
And then they slash at Richard.
No.
5 barrels. How convenient.
So they make 4 slashing attacks at Richard.
Mimics can't have familiars.
But they're all pretty lousy rolls right out the get-go. So, what's that? Well, it's not terrible. 10, 11, and 12. So I imagine those are all misses. But the last one comes in with a whole big 25.
No. Everything past the 10 is a hit.
Oh dear. All right then.
Yeah, we are warlocks.
All right, that's true. Sorry, I thought 10. I thought Richard was more robust.
No.
Okay, well, Richard, you're about to have a bad time.
Oh God.
I get a long rest from the night before, right?
You take 16 slashing damage.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
And yeah, it is the next day, right? We did camp successfully
Yeah.
one night.
Oh yeah, you did camp successfully for one night, and this thing unfolds into this tall, lanky, green creature. It has long features and sharp claws, and these bearing teeth. It's dressed in rags, and it is looking fiercely at you guys. And as it changes shape, the wooden texture and all the visage of the barrel slowly fades back into its green skin.
Mimics.
All right, so let's see some initiative, folks.
Oh wow.
Oh, that is... What?
Can you critically fail initiative?
I mean, it's possible.
Because I did.
So, Pen has a 0. And Richard is a whole big 2, and then Guy is a 10, and Kithri is a 13. Kithri is the only person who's ready to fight.
I was caught on by surprise.
Yeah, you were caught by surprise. That's absolutely true. All right, but Kithri, you are top of the round, and this creature is menacing Richard now.
I am going to... so using Armor of Shadows, is that a bonus action or an action?
What does the spell say?
It's you cast Mage Armor on yourself at will without expending a spell slot or material components.
Oh, it's an invocation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's still a casting.
Yeah, I think that might be an action, because if it says it casts Mage Armor, I would say that's probably an action.
Casting Mage Armor is an action.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. Oh shoot! I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay.
Oh, but no, I
I was going to say, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'll just I'll shout out, "Chill off!" and cast Chill Touch.
You run up on him and cast Chill Touch?
Yeah.
All right.
Looks like this thing needs to cool down.
All right. So that's 12 plus 5. All right. So, yeah, that's going to do it.
Okay.
So what do you got for damage on that? 1d8. Oh, that's pretty good.
There it is.
Haha.
All right. So it takes 8 damage from that, and it kind of howls out in pain. It raises up its forearms and turns its anger on you. All right. Next up, We go with Guy.
I cast. Oh, hang on a second. Can I do this on? One additional creature per. Excellent. So that is level 2 because I don't have a choice anyway. I am going to cast command at. There's only one that's actually converted now, right, into a creature. Just this one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming that the other barrels are as well, so I'd like to cast it on that one as well.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw, and the command is grovel.
Okay. So you're casting it on the barrel and the other one, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
the one that you said, the one that was vertical turned into a critter, so that
Okay.
one and the one closest to it.
Okay. So it's going to try and do a wisdom saving throw. What does it need to beat? 14?
Yep.
You just rolled a nat 20.
Shit.
It's not groveling for anything.
And then I'll use my movement to close the distance.
So that blue dice can go in the please don't kill my players bin. And the
And
handed DM dice can come out. All right. So
I still have a bonus action, and I will use that to cast Hexblade's Curse on it.
very well.
Oh no, wait a minute, wrong character. Never mind.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I don't have that.
Okay, then you can't do that. Never mind
I
then.
won't do that then.
All right. All right. So now it is his turn, and he's going to take 4 swings at Kithri with his 4 arms. And those are all much higher numbers. All right, that is 15,
Yep.
10,
Nope.
23, and 24.
Wow.
Yeah, these are some good dice today. All right, but the damage rolls are low, so that's 5, 8, 12 damage from that swing.
Ouch.
All right, and then next up we go to Richard.
What? I have
Yeah.
a question.
Sure.
Do I not go because I rolled a 0?
No, you go after Richard.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you're at the bottom.
Oh, this is going to. You know what? I'm going to. I don't have my blade out yet,
Okay.
so I'm gonna cast Cloud of Daggers
All right.
as soon as I can actually press the damn thing.
Cloud of Daggers. It's got to see if it can escape, or is it just on its space? Yeah, it's just on its space. So it's just it fills the air, and if it's
Yeah, by crushing a small piece of glass and.
yeah. Okay, cool. So I mean, it's on the space. It's taking 8 slashing damage.
Yeah.
And we'll see if it remains there or leaves. So yeah, the just roll of blades sprouts out from around it, and cries out. It's kind of slashing about. All right. All right. Next up, Pen. You're finally up.
Okay. So the creature's in Cloud of Daggers right now.
Yeah, he's in Cloud of Daggers right now.
So if I enter that space, that will.
If you enter the same space as the creature, because it's a 5-foot area, so it's like centered on one creature, and this guy's fairly large. You can attack him without.
So this is going to sound like an odd question. Can I enter his range and then exit his range without touching Cloud of Daggers?
You can enter his range and stay there without touching Cloud of Daggers.
And he is how far from me currently? Like, do I have any movement once I close the distance, like even a little bit?
You can close the distance and make it to him fairly easily. I think you could get within melee range.
Okay. Well, I want to get in and out. I know this sounds really weird, but I want to get in his range and out of his range.
You can get in his range. I don't know if you can get out of his range.
Okay.
That's a bit far. You're on the
Okay.
end of this.
I'm going to I guess I'll go get in his range and I will cast I guess just because I know what I'm trying to do, I'm going to go ahead and get in his range and just take out my flask and pour water over my arm and cast Armor of Agathis.
Okay.
So
You're going to try and cool him off? All right.
a little bit. You'll see.
All right. 5, 10 for each person. All right. Excellent. Okay. So we go back to the top of the round. Kithri.
All right.
This creature is slashing around in this cloud of daggers whirling around it.
Don't want to close. So yeah, if I get in there, the cloud of daggers is probably gonna hurt me.
If you get on the same space, it actually occupies more space than the 5-foot square that's cloud of daggers.
Okay. I will close with it and attack with the duelist companion.
All right, duelist companion rings with delight as you unsheath it and prepare to strike.
Aha!
All right, so that's a hit, and he takes that bit of damage. And duelist companion, you hear a voice in your head as you pierce its flesh. And duelist companion says to you, "Ugh, this creature's blood is corrupt." It tastes most foul. Next up is Guy.
I look at him, I clear my throat. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, down.
All right, throw it out.
14 wisdom save.
14 wisdom save. Well, he rolled a 4.
All right, he is
So-
prone and his turn is over.
Plunk, he gets down on the ground, and yeah, it's his turn, and his turn is over. And next up is Rich.
All right. Would it take a full action just to take the spear off my back?
No, I think you can just load up your weapon. And
All right. Then I'm going to take the spear off my back and just plunge it with 2 hands into what seems to be a softish spot.
okay,
He's prone as well, so you...
yeah, he's prone, so you can get advantage on that swing. So roll it again, see if you get the.
Cool. I accidentally
Juice.
rolled twice.
Oh,
already.
hey, there you go. So yeah, take the
My
19.
mouse kind of sucks.
It's all right.
And should I roll a D8 just so we don't have to deal with?
That's okay. I'll take my favorite. And now then, so yeah, you stab it, and it's gushing a lot of blood at this point. You notice. Actually, give me a perception check while you're stabbing it. It's laying on the ground.
All right. 13.
Some of the wounds that it's sustained early in the battle are stitching back together.
I'm going to yell very quickly, stitching itself up. Maybe fire, ice, something to slow it down.
Except for the necrotic wounds, those are not healing.
Ooh.
Now then, we go to Pen.
So it's prone. Can it take reactions?
It cannot when it is prone from this command. It can't do anything.
Man, you guys.
You
Well,
ruined my plan.
in this case, I'm going to take this time.
I get what you were gonna do.
Fire and ice, but I'm going to take this time to add a little extra chill to it. And
That's a good chill touch.
was that the roll for it too?
Yeah, that's the roll.
Perfect.
But it's got no damage on it, so you got to roll me some damage. But you get to roll twice as much damage now because you
Ooh. Okay. So
done crit on it.
1d8 necrotic, so I roll
So
2.
roll 2.
Gotta get my
It's
character sheet out.
necrotic. Most excellent.
Can't, and I think that means he can't take. I think he's like extra. Can't do anything now.
disadvantage on attack rolls against you until the end of your next turn.
Yeah.
And then that is, and that gets my spell attack modifier correct. I really got to fix that.
Well, your attack gets a spell attack modifier. Your damage doesn't. Spell damage is.
Oh, so it did already add that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Unless you got an invocation that does that.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he takes another 12. He is in very rough shape at this point. And now we're back at the top of the round with Kithri. This thing's on the ground, and you guys are just curb stomping it now.
Finish it.
So I will sorry.
It's okay.
Yell, go back to being a barrel and cast on it.
Okay.
So and then I will make an attack.
Okay.
So,
So it is hexed.
yes.
Give me that attack juice.
Ooh.
All right.
And then you get to choose an ability that it has
I-
disadvantage on.
Yes. So I'll say strength.
Strength? All right. Its strength is reduced. And as you stab into it, Duelist's friend in your mind lets out a ha-ha! And the blade vibrates as you cut into it,
Ooh.
dealing some additional damage.
Ooh.
All right.
I was talking swords.
But again, you're probably the only person that notices this. Okay, so he takes. All right, so this guy's barely hanging on. This creature, it's bleeding out on the ground. And after we go to Guy.
Okay, I see that he's in trouble. He's down on the ground. I'm out of spells. I look up at the ravens for a second. Little grin crosses my face. I pull out the wand, point it up at the ravens,
Okay,
and just do a little wand of wonder.
all right. Effect number 18 of the Wand of Wonder.
Actually, written in.
I cast
Oh, it's-
Gust
it's
of
right
Wind.
Gust of wind.
Perfect.
The crows kind of flap up.
Yeah, that one's bright yellow.
They all flap up and fly up. But they're oddly silent, all of the crows. Until we reach this creature's turn. And all of the crows caw in unison. That long kind of all together. And a symbol lights up on the back of this creature's head in kind of a bright orange. And these leathery wings sprout out of its back. And it begins to lift off and start to try and fly away. Anybody within melee range can take an opportunity attack against it.
I'm definitely going to do that.
Definitely.
I will as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I haven't used a weapon in forever.
All right.
It's okay, Dawn's got
That's a hit.
Oh,
That's a
an
hit.
11. That's the max I can do.
There it is.
Awesome.
That is a bit of damage.
Let's see. The hand axe.
Hand axe. And that is not quite enough. But you did your best, Pen. This isn't your forte. All right. So you guys lay that into him. You don't quite do enough. He's dripping blood all over the place, but he starts to float out over the tree line and escape the battle.
Oh,
And
wait.
Oh.
Any chance I can cast Eldritch Spear?
Where are you in the initiative lineup? I don't know. You're pretty
right.
far off from this.
Oh,
Well,
no, I'm right after.
right after this creature. Okay, yeah. I'll give you one more shot at it.
All right.
Hit me.
Oh, that's
That's also just enough.
yes.
So it starts to make its escape, and you're like, "Not today, motherfucker!" throw your Eldritch Spear, and it looks like it's just about to get away, and it hits it, and it tumbles down to the ground, and there's like a poof
Woo.
right to the ground.
Because it is a 300-foot range. It's lovely.
The crows all turn to you. They caw once in unison, and then they disperse.
That's right. Piss off, eh? Piss off.
And William comes out of the cart where he went to go take cover once he saw the creature, and he's like, "You beat it!"
Did you find your sister? Eh?
No, I didn't see her anywhere.
Okay, we look some more, eh?
Hey, folks, just come over here. I need you to check something real quick.
You just kind of like huddle up the group.
Yeah, and I show them the finger. Like, this is bad.
Oh.
I turn immediately to Guy because I just remembered something because we're both ritual casters who both have familiars. I turned to him and I said, Guy, those were someone's familiars, and you can't be that far away from your familiar. Like those, that they have to be nearby, whose ever those were.
I know that. I also wonder, sometimes one person can have more than one of them, but when the guy bugger off, the ravens bugger off too, so maybe it's just him. But just to be safe, and I go over and start smashing the barrels.
Okay. The barrels smash open and ale flows out of all of them.
Oh, what a horrible waste. I stand one up on its end and bust the top off. Get my
I've become everything I've ever hated.
Maybe we should follow where the ravens went. If they are familiars, perhaps they're heading back to...
They all dispersed in various directions.
Oh, shoot.
I know I'm just one person, but I do vote that at least Keithry and I take a little bit of time to rest. After all, we've taken considerable damage.
I can also patch you both up real quick.
Or that.
I wouldn't say no.
All right.
All right.
Did you take any damage?
No, Guy
that
stayed
does
out
not
of.
happen very often.
Guy's pretty good at staying out of trouble.
All right. Can I go ahead then? Let me see if this is the thing I want to do.
All right.
Can I do that for... I still have 9 charges left in my healer's kit, so can I pop off 2 of those to heal them?
Sure.
That's going to be 1d6 plus 4 plus 1 hit die that is your... No. We're level 3, so plus 3. So it's 1d6 plus 7 health points back for both of you.
There you go.
Plus 8, actually. We're at level 4.
Oh, yeah, we're at level 4. We started at
Yeah,
level
level
3.
4 now. Come on.
I did all this stuff already.
Remember, we had the huge party? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, you guys can roll your own d6s for it and get your hit points back.
7 out of 10 left.
Plus 8. That gives me 13.
And I want to walk up to Kithry and say, so what are we going to do with the little boy?
He's still looking around. He's calling out for her.
I mean, I don't want to kill him.
Well, certainly no.
I'm just trying to think of ways to minimize the pain he's going to suffer. Right?
Oh, do you still have your Eldritch Sight on, Kithry? How long does that last for? I'm always...
I don't... Detect magic at will.
You'd have to look up detect magic.
Yeah, I've got the book.
I think it's 10 minutes, I believe. But
If it is 10 minutes, yeah, that fight wasn't quite 10 minutes long. Detect magic.
Yeah,
Oh,
up to
Yeah.
10 minutes. Concentration, though, and I cast...
Okay, so you cast other things. Okay, I'm just checking. All right.
Oh yeah, my cloud of daggers is also dispersed.
Yeah, it's just like... Does anybody want margaritas?
I know you're joking, but I'm definitely going to bring that up later on to Guy.
No, excellent. Do it. Do it over and over again. All right.
I'm gonna, walk up to them while they're having this conversation after I'm finishing patching them up, and I'm just gonna be like, I think we should at least go look at the body of that thing, since it fell somewhere over there.
Okay,
Sounds like a
that's
good idea.
probably a good idea. Why don't you guys do that? I stay here with the kid, eh?
All right.
Okay.
Keep them entertained.
That's my plan exactly.
And
All right.
no murdering children that aren't evil, because apparently that's a rule.
We don't kill the bad one. We probably shouldn't kill the good one, eh?
So you guys go looking around to try and find the body, and Guy, you stay with little William, and William is still looking around, calling out for his sister, and she's like, "Where could she have gone? Why would anyone attack us? I mean, it's not like."
I cast prestidigitation to make a little, like a complicated little, almost like a Rubik's Cube.
Oh.
Except pardon me, a non-name brand cubic toy.
Yeah. So
And
a puzzle toy.
look what, mon ami, my friend, look what I found there. You play with this, I look for your sister, right? Go sit on the cart in case she come back.
All right, promise me you find her, okay?
I promise you I try as hard as I can, eh? And look at me, I try pretty hard. Go sit on the cart.
All right. And he kind of reluctantly goes and sits on the cart, and he pauses for a moment and turns around, and he looks like he's going to say something to you, but then he thinks better of it and he goes back to the cart.
I stop and I walk over to him and I put my hand on the toy and stop him from playing with it and look up at him and say, okay, little man, don't bullshit me. Tell me what you need to tell me, eh? I treat you like an adult now, eh? You tell me.
You guys are different, right?
We are about as different as possible to be, eh?
Well, I'm different too. And my sister's different.
What can you do?
Well, and he drops his illusion. And this child is a Cambion. He's a half demon.
That's an amazing trick, eh? Can I have my toy back? I don't think you're going to be very good with that, eh?
Well, it's actually really entertaining.
Okay, then keep it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you keep it. Yeah. Your sister, she's like you?
Yeah, we're not bad, though. I know a lot of demons are bad, but our mom was really nice, and our dad, too.
You know what? I know some goblin that are really nice people, eh?
We're just simple brewers now. My sister makes the best ale.
Hang
I
on.
just know she's out here somewhere.
Let me back you up just a minute there, my little friend, eh? You said ale? You make this ale back here?
Yeah, she's teaching me. I'm not very good at it, but she makes really great stuff.
It is very good ale. I have had a couple glass already. It's very, very good. Okay, your sister, she is, how you say, when she is like you were before, when she looked like a girl, when you guys get hurt, you turn back to this? And I point at him.
Sometimes, if we drop the illusion, we try to stay in hiding because people don't like us when we look like this.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one very important question here. How old are you? In real time?
Ah.
I know you pretend to be a child, but are you actually a child? Be honest with me. I will know if you are lying, eh?
By Cambion years, I'm a child. We don't age the same way.
Okay. Thank you. That's good information. I need to know that. So, now when I find something that looks like you in the bush, I am not surprised and I am not scared and I am not run away and look like an idiot, eh? Let's find your sister. You stay here, play with the toy.
Okay.
And I step off the cart and go and pretend to look for his sister some more.
Okay. Now then, as you guys go investigate the body, you finally come across it. It's made a small crater where it's landed. It's still this pale green skin, these gnarly claws. How do you investigate it?
Is it still breathing? Like, is it still alive?
It is no longer breathing.
There's a small part of me that wants to take at least part of it as a trophy. I made an impossible shot.
Just like you guys saw that, right? Like everybody saw it.
Could I? Well, I don't know if that would get it back to a point where we could talk to it, but would spare the dying do anything to a... No, because it's not... Well, you said it's not breathing. That means it's not living, correct?
Yeah, it's not living anymore.
Okay, never mind. I just wanted to interrogate it. I guess just look at it, look over it.
I'll use Eldritch Sight to see if there's any items or magical residue.
There is an
What
enchant. There is an enchantment on this creature.
Mm.
The magic appears to be some kind of control. It's similar to the magical energy you've seen when somebody uses like command or such kind of thing.
Huh. So I think somebody cast a spell to force this thing to do whatever it was doing.
Hmm.
Can I roll a perception on it?
Certainly. And if you like, you could try a nature check as well to see if,
Oh, yeah, I'll start with the nature check.
Okay.
The first one is the one that actually clicked. The second one is just, I hate my mouse.
Okay, well, I'll take your first one. And this is a troll. But it's exhibiting some very strange mutations.
Yeah, don't trolls turn to stone during the day?
Did a troll and a mimic?
Do the
Well,
With your
trolls don't
22,
usually have wings.
with your 22, you're able to. You do know this about trolls. Trolls have an unusual physiology because of their regeneration, and it's not unheard of for some trolls to gain certain aspects of things when they consume them.
So here's my working theory.
No.
It's a troll that ate a mimic and some other weird stuff, possibly by force. Force feeding, I mean, not. I mean, if you eat anything that's alive, it's got to be by force.
This is so Richard. Okay.
I'm gonna take out probably one of my daggers and try like cutting the stomach open to see what it ate.
Okay. Good check. All
Sorry,
right.
what?
No, good check. No, I like where your instincts are at. All right. So you as you pull up the rags that it's wearing, you can see that it has been cut and stitched back together in various places. Like somebody's been experimenting on this creature. But you go through the stomach and you don't find any contents. It has not fed recently.
Oh, thank God. I was worried it had eaten the girl and was changing because of that. So that's good, finger, but hopefully she's
This is
alive without the finger.
Finger, we send a message.
Are you gonna put his head on a bike?
It's like, let this be a warning.
I am now. I don't really want to keep my spear, so I'm gonna start burying it into the ground.
Before you do that, or as you're preparing that, can I do an Arcana check? I would assume it would be, but you can tell me, to know if there are any components that you can get out of this kind of creature that are worthwhile, either for selling for magical purposes or whatever, or
certainly give me an Arcana check. You're like toenails. I don't know.
Aren't we really close to the academy?
You're getting pretty close. You're along the forest road on the Iron Road, heading in that direction.
I turn to the others and I'm like, we could just take it back and ask the others what they think. It's not. How big is it? Is it like huge?
It is about 8 or 9 feet tall. It's kind of lanky. It's not really muscular, but definitely has some weight to it. It would take all 4 of you.
Midst of cutting off the head,
You're
taking
just
out
like,
my packed weapon.
Well,
Turned it into a dagger.
I don't think it's going anywhere for now, so maybe we should try and look a little bit more for his sister.
Okay. That sounds reasonable. I always have that weird feeling about this kind of stuff. This is the stuff you're like, oh, it'll be there when we get back, and you turn around, it's gone. But I'm totally fine because it's more important to find the living than the dead, at least for now.
I'm still setting up my terrifying murder pole.
so you're setting up.
To remove spear from my inventory.
It's like, fine, if I can't sell them, I'll make decorations. All right. So Guy, back at the cart, you're still looking around, and you're keeping an eye on this boy. And
Yeah, just trying my best to keep him amused. If he gets bored with that, I'll create something else.
okay.
Just trying to distract him.
All right. You can see that he is getting, as time grows long in this endeavor, he's getting more kind of distraught, and you can see he's kind of losing hope.
Okay, I'll walk up to him and say, my little friend, I probably should have asked this earlier, but did you see which way she ran?
She told me to run. There was 3 of them, and they attacked, and she told me to run, and she said she would hold them off at the cart.
She is your older sister?
Yeah. She's always looking out for me.
Did any of them chase you? I'm sorry if this is hard to listen to, but it will help us maybe find her. Eh?
I don't know. I didn't look back. Melissa always told me never to look back.
That's good advice. Eh? You can use that almost your whole life for almost everything. But right now, for sure, yeah, definitely don't look back. I tell you what, do you want to help?
Yes, please.
Okay, you go look on the other side of the road, eh?
Okay, I'll try to get a higher vantage point. There's nobody else around, right?
As far as I know, I tell you what, though, you see anybody that isn't those other 3 freakouts that I hang out with, you see anybody else, you yell. You don't get heroic, you yell, you run back here, okay?
Okay.
Your sister will fucking kill me if you get hurt, okay?
She wouldn't do that, but she might get very mad.
Yeah,
And
we
then
don't want that. Eh?
he kind of shrugs his shoulders and flaps his little wings, and he goes up. And tries to look around on the other side.
All right, buddy, you be careful, I mutter as he leaves. And I'll turn around, and I'm not looking for her anymore. I think she's gone.
Yeah.
I'm watching him. I'm making sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
Okay. All right. So you guys are back at the body. What are you doing?
I almost feel like we should go get Guy at this point, honestly, just because I don't know. I mean, we could continue forward in the direction it was heading and hope that it was going back to wherever it was from, but who knows how far that could have been.
There's a small part of me that wants to take my new head spear and just place it onto the cart.
Be smelly and gross, and if you get it into one of my books, I'll be very upset. But
I mean, it
sera.
deter people from trying to rob us.
We have a troll head.
This is gonna sound like super ignorant as far as being PC sounds, but are trolls and goblins in any way related? Is that
No.
Okay.
They are not. Trolls are not goblinoids. They are very unusual creatures. They regenerate. So whenever they take damage, they always regenerate. And that does lead to mutations in them. Like if you chop off a troll's limbs, there's an odd chance that it might regrow too. People have reported trolls with as many as 8 arms.
Ooh.
And multiple heads and multiple legs. Reported out in the wild. and also trolls that have taken on the attributes of fey creatures that they've consumed.
I'm gonna turn. I can't remember. Key3, did you show us all the finger, or was that just Gee?
No, she showed everybody. She got like everybody
Give
together.
us all the finger.
I'm just gonna turn. I'm gonna look at them, and I'm just gonna be like, unless we know how to track, I'm not sure what the best option. Like, do either of you know how to track something, like, or have any way of doing that?
I've spent most of my time in cities, so
I spent the last 10 years in the woods. Tracking was hunting.
Can you pick up like blood trails and the such?
We'll have to see.
I'm gonna just look at that finger and look at him.
I'll hand it over to Richard.
Do you sniff it? How does this work?
I'm gonna use a nature check, just see if I can.
Ask
If I can.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to see if I can kind of understand where this may have been. No, I can't. Not even
No,
slightly.
not even slightly.
Man,
I got nothing.
I don't think I have anything as far as like knowing this kind of stuff.
You might be at a dead end.
Yeah, we may need to go back to Guy and just see if there's any leads there, because I don't think we're gonna find anything here.
All right.
Yeah, not unless we had some kind of animal. Oh wait, no. Can I make a survival roll?
A survival roll? What is
Yeah.
your reasoning? Paint a picture for me.
A lot of the time when you're tracking something, it's kind of a survival instinct trying to track something down. It can be for the survival of yourself or the survival of another creature. Trying to... Basically, it's... Your survival falls down into the same category as the hunting would. In a bit less than nature would. I don't know why I thought nature right away.
Give me a survival roll and I'll tell you if you learn anything.
Come on, mouse.
All right.
It's the first one, not the second one.
It's the
I got
first one.
nothing.
Your survival roll, in looking at this and the way things were laid out and the fact that nobody found any
Oh wait,
tracks
no.
or anything.
The
at the
survival roll is the second one.
Yeah, you did it right. It's good. The survival roll is the second one, so you got the 24.
I got a nat.
Yeah, you did. You did great. So it occurs to you that it stands to reason, because you didn't find any tracks at the scene, that these creatures, whatever attacked the cart, likely flew away like this creature that you saw fly away.
I am going to relay said information. Even though I kind of worked that out beforehand.
So it's almost impossible for you to track if it went by air.
I can't track air.
We're gonna
If I
have
was winged, maybe, but no.
Yeah, we're gonna have to just take it back to the cart, and maybe that ring, maybe that'll lead us to some more. Maybe we can ask the brother and see if he knows anything specific about any of this. But we're gonna have to go back at this point to find anything.
Wouldn't it make more sense to bring it back to the academy and see if they know anything?
Oh yeah, like definitely.
All right.
Can I, taking a closer look at the ring, do I recognize the symbol at all?
Give me a perception check on it.
Probably not.
Well, you don't recognize it from anything that you've seen before. However, you are able to discern that this is a family crest.
Aha. Family crest. Cool.
All right. So
We
you guys
head back.
All right. You head back. Guy, you see the rest of the party returning to you at the site of the overturned cart.
Okay, by the time they get back, I've started this. I don't know if I'm going to have time to finish it. A ritual casting of magic mouth.
Okay.
I want to do it on the horse.
All right.
And, as soon as somebody touches the horse, it says in a loud voice, "I can't believe you'd touch a dead horse there."
All right. I'm just going to say you finish that up just as everyone arrives. Because, I mean, that's a key move. I just want to leave that as a little treat for anybody who comes across this later.
And the best part with that spell is it lasts until it's dispelled. So this thing can just be a skeleton horse laying in the ditch, and still when anybody touches it, they're going to hear the same thing.
Oh, my God. All right.
Beautiful.
This is okay. So you guys arrive back and you see you finishing up a ritual on the horse, and you see a what appears to be a young boy with leathery wings and a tail flapping around the cart, looking around, calling out for Melissa.
That's him. That's the kid, eh?
Okay.
William?
That's him, yeah.
I've seen Stranger.
And after Kithri says William, he turns around and he flies down to the ground, and he assumes his human-looking form again. And says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak anybody out.
You don't have to do that, William. You look however you want to look, my friend. Look at this guy, and I point at Richard. Look at him, eh? You walk around looking like that. You can walk around looking like you, eh?
I guess you're right. Did you find her?
No.
I'm going to kind of try and discreetly slide the ring off the finger and
Okay.
Give William the ring. Say, I did find this.
And he looks at it and he starts to tear up a little bit, and he kind of steels himself. She's alive. She told me that the rings were important and that we could always use them to find each other. She wouldn't have left it behind if she wasn't alive.
All right, little man. This
Wish
is
I
on
knew
you,
how it
eh?
worked.
This is on you. You concentrate really hard, eh? This your sister. Eh? This counts. This is for real.
I don't know how it works. She never told me. She just told me that we could always use them to find each other. I have a matching one, and he shows you his hand, and he has one that has the same symbol on it.
Put it on the other hand.
All right. Then he puts it on.
Now concentrate.
All right.
Where is she? Don't think, just say.
Foggy.
More?
Can I just put my hand on his shoulder and do the help action, like for the Arcana bit of this?
You could try.
What is that roll?
Do an Arcana roll. Apply your skills in Arcana.
Lock in, little man. This is your sister. We are saving a life right here. You pay attention, eh? Where is she? Foggy and what?
All right. Needs just go. There's
Nothing
a room.
else? Okay, a room.
It's full of all kinds of creatures, monsters in cages.
Like a zoo.
No,
Oh, good. I shouldn't have said that anyway.
like a laboratory. Someone's coming. Ah! And the kid falls over.
And I pick him back up and put him up on his cart.
Okay.
You did a good job, my friend. Very good job.
He knew.
He knew you were there?
He knew I was looking at it. And he shut it down.
Okay, my friend. One more thing. Don't think. Point. Where is she? Now.
points off to the woods.
And I want to look right in his eyes. Does he honestly believe it, or is he just he's just pointing to make me happy?
He honestly believes it, but he doesn't know how deep or where or when. He just has a vague sense of the direction.
Okay, my friend, you know what? You might not know this, but you are a hero to your sister, eh?
Well, I just think we're going to need more help to find her.
I'm going to take this moment and just turn to the others and say, I think we should honestly take him back, to the academy with Cookie and Wormspit and see if, they can keep him safe, and maybe they'll have more information on this place, and maybe we can then hurry up and get on with it and find her.
Yeah, maybe that maniac that's building the tower can take a minute off to read this little guy's mind, eh? No offense, little guy, eh? I mean, you, like I said, that's amazing. You already help us so much. We know so much about where your sister is, eh?
No, thank you. You guys have been a ton of help. Who are you? I just saw a cart out on the road, and I didn't expect to have like a team of magic guys helping me out.
We're all going to look at each other we haven't come up with a name yet.
Trusty leader.
Oh. You know what, kid? We don't have a business card yet, but as soon as we get one, you will be the first to know. But in the meantime, why don't you grab whatever you need off your cart, anything that you can think, and come with us, and we'll take you somewhere safe until we can get your sister. And I'm gonna look at the others and be like, think of a name.
All right. And he goes up to the cart, and he opens up a pouch, and he pulls out a small painting. It's like a small picture, and puts it into his coat and says, "Okay, I've got everything I need."
All right. I'm gonna lead back to the cart if everybody's coming.
All right. Everybody gets in the cart. Where do you guys put William?
Safely inside, I would say.
Okay.
He's going in the back with the one surviving cask of ale, eh?
All right.
I was going to say next to Guy.
All right.
And the one surviving cask of ale, eh? Yeah, I'll stay in the back with him for sure.
All right. So you stay in the back with him. Are you going to try some of this ale?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Knock the top off one, and I'm sure I carry a cup of some sort.
Oh yeah, no. This is incredibly flavorful stuff. Like, this is some craft, high-end stuff.
From the roof, Richard is going to grow one of his arms out, try to reach inside and go.
Can I have a little bit of that?
And the cup just hits your palm as it comes through the side.
And I bring it back up.
No. William's like, I helped with this one.
And can I hear him from?
Yeah, he kind of shouts out to you because he sees the arm come in and everything.
Good for you, kid.
I hope you guys like it.
Your family is very talented, eh?
Well, we didn't really get to know Mom and Dad that well, but my big sister's always looked out for me, and she taught me the brewing trade.
Well, so far, kid, you're good. Makes berry wine taste like pig piss.
Well, I'm not as good as she is, but I appreciate the compliments.
And look at the bright side. You have a trade that will last you forever, eh?
That was the idea. People don't pay much attention to brewers. So, we can stay under the radar while still making some people happy.
They don't pay attention until there's no ale. Then they come and find you, eh?
Well, that's why we're always brewing.
And I just keep chit-chatting with them.
All right.
Time,
just chat with them.
Making noise.
All right. Kithri and Penn, you guys are riding up front, I imagine, still. So do you guys have any chats? Or is it a quiet ride back?
I more or less just want to, personally, I want to be like, I haven't given much thought to a name for our little traveling band. I've more or less been concerned with making sure everyone stays alive.
Yeah. The Forlocks?
The Warlocks? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. We could bounce that off of the others and see what they think of that.
Yeah,
He's going to
Quad
judgmentally-
locks doesn't quite roll off the tongue quite as well.
Quadlocks.
Locks?
Quad
Quadlocks. That sounds like a strange piece.
Sounds like a weird hairstyle.
Quadlock sounds like it's a kind of fish.
It does, yeah.
A little bit.
Fried quadlocks.
So you guys approach the keep just as it's getting towards sundown. And once you park the cart and make your way into Cookie's Crab Shack, there's actually a big fanfare that meets you when you get inside. It's later in the evening, so it's not terribly busy. But Cookie is waiting there with Tommy and Calazar, and they have a congratulations on second mission completion cake. Woo! Good work, team. You did it.
I want to take William past all of that and into the kitchen.
And then they notice that you're with a boy, and who's this young fella here?
This young fellow here, he needs dinner more than anything in the world, Cookie. Hey, how about we go in the back room and give him a little bit of privacy, eh?
Hey, you don't have to tell me twice. I got something specially prepared. And he sets the cake down on the table. He runs into the back room to start cooking.
And Calazar is still there?
Yes, Calazar is still just kind of standing there, awkwardly wearing a fun party hat. And he's just like, you lived. Well done.
Oh,
Why, thank you.
we did. Sir, we actually are in dire need of your help. Your expertise, as it were.
Oh, I don't have many of those. You might be in trouble.
I believe you should be better or more experienced in the arcane than even us four. That young man that Guy is escorting, he was in a bit of trouble out on the road. His sister and their wagon were both attacked. And when we went back to the scene, we could not find her. But we did find a very odd creature, a very mutated troll mixed with many other things. And
Its head is hanging off our cart.
and
that is fascinating.
All we know is that there are 2 rings that he has that have a location of some laboratory where they're doing experiments, and we believe that's where his sister is held. Do you know anything by this description, or would you be able to help us locate it by chance?
Ooh, not crazy about labs.
Mm.
You just want to get away from those.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to find one?
I mean, we want to find one to help someone else get out of one. I have no.
Feel any better. If it makes you feel any better, we'll burn it to the ground.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit in favor of that. Very well. Can I take a look at that head? The one on the cart.
Yes, I want many people to see what I have accomplished.
I'm going to borrow it. Just for a moment. I'll put it back.
Go for it.
Very well. And it's important to know that today Calazar looks like a half elf. So he kind of sidesteps everybody, keeping his distance, and then goes out to the cart and takes the head off and looks at it and Thank you. Right, you needed something. I'll come back inside. And he comes back inside. Okay, so it was like a spell or something. I'm sorry, I kind of checked out.
It was under control. We gathered that much, but beyond that, all we know is that it was followed by several familiars, and on a command, it was to return to wherever it came from. It was, would I have known the direction the kid was pointing, like northwest?
It went off to the, let's say, to the east.
It was headed east last when we saw it, when Richard struck it down with his sniping skills.
Through the high forest, then. Did you take a look at that symbol on the back of its head?
Miss Keithree did, yes, primarily.
No, not
Oh.
that closely. I forgot about that.
I mean, I was busy putting the head on a stick.
I was more concerned that maybe there was a dead child in its stomach. Which
That is
there wasn't.
Oh, that's good.
We have
Very
a finger, though.
You have a finger.
Yes. Pull
Can
the
I-
finger out of a pocket.
Very unsanitary.
Very, very unsanitary.
Oh, no,
Says the
that's-
one with the troll head on the
But
top.
out of character, exceptionally useful when scrying.
Exceptionally useful.
Back in character. I know nothing.
Oh, yes. May I borrow that finger?
Sure, I don't need it back.
Excellent. And he takes it and puts it in his pouch. It's like, all right, so there was a thing you wanted me to check out then. But-
You looked at the troll head. We just were trying to find out where that might have come from. We're looking for the lab.
Well, the mark on the back, it is a guild mark.
Which
An
guild?
organization of scholars.
Hmm.
Not familiar with this one.
Would I perchance know that? Like, I wouldn't have thought about it up until now, but maybe now that I'm actually looking at it, would
Go.
that?
Go take a look.
Okay,
Can
I'm going to
hearing-
look.
Hearing scholar, I'm also going to go take a look.
All right.
I am going to walk my way over to the cake. That everyone-
Priorities.
There's not much I can do.
All right.
Is there a name on the cake? If we,
It just says congratulations, Warlocks. Second successful mission.
Start cutting it into pieces and handing it out.
All right.
makes you wonder how many of them actually get to a second successful mission if that gets you a cake.
It's the small victories. So you can check it out. All right. So give me an investigation check and a history check on this symbol. All right. So the symbol is a kind of banner with a scalpel and a syringe, and then a kind of a collection like an arm and a leg, and then a tree, and then an empty space. And it says splice on the banner, but it's accurate, but it's like, S.P.L. Your history check reveals that this is the symbol for a very old and disgraced order known as the Scholars Parlor League of Investigating Creatures and Environments.
Ah, I remember now.
which had been knocked out of polite society for their experimentation on monstrous creatures for warfare.
Very interesting as far as, theoretically goes, but horribly wrong on the field of morality, which I care very much about.
You just say that out loud, unprompted.
It was like I just remember my memory's half gone. So like when I remember these things, I'm just like, oh yes, of course, them. Like, but not I don't. I'm a scholar, not a monster.
You don't quite sound fully convincing on that other part, but maybe this is a conversation for another time.
No insight roll required.
All right.
Do we know where they would be, or is that just we generally know about the?
This organization was last known to have a laboratory hidden somewhere in the Star Mountains.
Oh, right, and that fits the description. So, I guess Q3 and I have this little conversation as we remember it,
Right.
And then I'm gonna tell her and Calthazar, I'm gonna be like, "Well, thank you so much."
Calazar's gone.
Oh,
The moment you were no longer requesting anything from him, he wandered off.
I'm just gonna
like he does.
I'm just gonna be like, okay, we should tell the others what we know. And honestly, I'd say we should really go get her as soon as possible, but I don't know if we'll be at our best unless we sleep. So I feel like we should discuss that all together maybe and see what we believe should be done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll take a break there and we'll come back shortly and go over where this is going next.
Will they find the little girl or a young woman? It's hard to get a beat on exactly what the age of these things are. We'll find out when we come back.
Table tales, let's roll some dice on table tales. Woo! Hello everyone and welcome back to Table Tales. On the last episode, if you missed it, I'll throw a link in the down there part. We talked about how when I was running my game shop, I decided to create this school, this organization for new players to come in and be a part of, just something to tie them back to the game and keep them coming back. We're going to expand on that today. We're going to talk about the lessons that I inputted for my new players for their first time playing the game. And I've got these handy visual aids here, so let's go through it. So when you first brought people in, I would sign them into groups. The first thing I would do is I would check the kind of level everybody was at. If people were experienced players, I would give them the option to skip the first section. And if they wanted to skip the first section, it'd be just like Adventurers League. I'd roll them into a regular group. If they didn't want to skip the first section, I would take them through everything. So the story would be that there would be young adventurers eager to start out, and they'd be coming out of Waterdeep, and they'd be going to this Avalon Knights Academy because they had received word that this is the place to go for new adventurers to get their feet wet, to get them started out in the world, and potentially link themselves to an organization that will keep giving them work in the adventuring world. So they're brand new adventurers, they're looking to start out. For my new players, what I did is I had basically pre-made blank character sheets of all kind of classes with the personality traits and all the backup information left wide open for them. So they could build who their character was as a personality as they went, and they didn't get bogged down in mechanics when they were making the character to start with. So once the characters arrived at the school, there'd be a colorful cast of school administrators running around. Of course, Cookie would be there if you're familiar with him from the stream. And the school was staffed with characters that me and my other people, my friends who are running as dungeon masters in the store, the school was staffed with people who were characters in our previous campaigns that we'd played. So, you know, they'd be coming in as grizzled adventurers, looking to help people out with their own personality traits. And from those experiences, little things about the school grew. Like, my one friend had a wizard called Baracus, and Baracus was a sleazy shyster who sold makeshift potions out of his robe all the time. So in our game that we played with Baracus, it came to be that Baracus's potions had basically a wild magic effect if you drank them. So those were inputted into the game through that. And of course, Cookie was an NPC that I'd run on numerous other games, and everybody begged me to put Cookie in, so Cookie ended up being in there. So all these organic experiences kind of came up just from us introducing the characters we played previously, and it really fleshed out the experience for the players and really made it an interesting world. So once the players got to this point and they set up, you know, they were basically in this throng of gathered new adventurers, and they would be asked to come forward and grab a colored ball out of a box. And lo and behold, the colored ball that they pulled out matched the colors of all the other adventurers that were at the table. That's how I made the groups. That was the logic. It doesn't require a lot of setup. Everybody's there to learn. You're good to go. Once everybody got there, as we can see here, we folded everybody into the first encounter. So the first encounter was combat training. Once the class was, the group, the class, whatever, was set up, they would be brought together by their instructor, and their instructor would transport them to a training hall. In their training hall, they would each be assigned, for the first lesson of combat, one goblin. Now, the story that I put behind this was that when the owners of the academy settled the school, there was a goblin tribe in the area, and the goblin tribe was known as the Rusty Shank tribe. Rather than exterminating them, they managed to come to an agreement with the goblin tribe. They would exchange them food and supplies and general protection. In exchange, they would help them with their training exercises. So I always really play it up that these goblins were like covered in padding and like cooking pots and all this kind of stuff. And they would basically be the training dummies for the students. So lesson one was pretty basic. Each student was assigned a goblin, as you can see on this page here. They were in-game. They were told to defeat the goblin. Out of game, the dungeon master would explain to them the different things that they can do in combat. So you can move, you can cast spells, you can do distractions, you can do a skill check to find out something about the person you're fighting. Basically lay out all the basic things that you can do on a turn. And then they would be allowed to experience it until eventually they defeated all of the goblins that they had available. For lesson 2, we changed it up a little bit. I always called lesson 2 advanced combat tactics. So we changed things up just a little bit further for the players. Again, they were fighting the same Rusty Shank goblins, but they would have raised platforms.
Oops, my bad. It's a long video anyways, guys. That's a 20-minute video that he's got there. So
Yeah, no, there was
fill out some tunes.
accidentally 20-minute video.
Yeah, it's not good. We'll be back way before 20 minutes. Hang tight.
Yeah.
As long as you're cool with me eating cereal on stream.
Look, you can
How
eat
is
all
that
the cereal you want.
cereal there, Richard? How was the cake? Let's find. Will I ever settle out a voice for this thing? Let's find out.
Gotta get that announcer voice nailed.
I don't know if it's like announcer or like dramatic announcer.
Hello, and welcome back to Too Many Warlocks. When last we left our heroes, they were journeying back home to the keep when they came across a poor boy who had been attacked, and his sister appears to have been kidnapped by an organization that experiments on various monstrous creatures. And it was revealed that this boy is a Cambion, a half-demon, and a very skilled brewer. They have brought him back to the keep in hopes that Calazar can figure out exactly where his sister is. And it is late now, and the party has had their meal. Cookie has produced a lovely feast for everyone to chow down on. There is some roast pork tonight with some cut and cheesed potatoes, along with a collection of vegetables. He passes that dish out to everyone, along with he gave you the cake beforehand, but that's usually how he rolls. And happily passes out your dishes and kind of tussles William's hair and tells him a quick pirate story, and William seems a little bit enthralled. He said, and that's how I lost me fourth wife. And then he goes off. And Tommy has taken great interest in William.
Okay, that's only slightly terrifying.
Is
We've
Tommy's
heard he's a reformed vampire.
And finally, Tommy just says, my boy, you are among friends here. It is okay to show who you really are. And he
Elbow him and say, I told you that before, eh?
And he drops his the very small human veneer that he puts up and kind of shows his pale vampire form the way he is. And this kind of makes William feel more at ease, and William kind of drops his illusion, eagerly eats his dinner. They have a little moment.
Just out of curiosity, what does it look like when William's eating? Does his jaw unhinge?
No, his form looks mostly humanoid. It's just that in this form he has it's almost like a tiefling, except he has large wings. His overall body structure is a bit larger. He has some spiky protrusions along his forearms. And besides that, I mean, he's got a tail, he's got horns, he's got wings. And his eyes are bright red.
I say in a big, loud voice, hey, Cookie, you got the brewer for this organization yet?
Well, just the stuff I make in the bathtub, but I wouldn't recommend drinking it on the regular.
Well, it turned out our little friend here is very, very good at making the ale. I'm sure there will be a couple of screw up while he get the setup right, but the problem will not be his, eh? I think maybe we give him a job, eh?
Well, if he's a brewer, in that case, he's even a better friend than I first thought he'd be.
I knew you'd be on my side with this, eh? Here, I got some in the trailer. You got to try this shit, eh?
Oh, you don't have to tell me twice. And he's out at the trailer. He's grabbed the barrel. It's like over one shoulder.
Yeah. Couple quick ones each to show
The top is off, isn't it?
He's got it balanced.
Imagine he's filling it all out.
Yeah, a little bit of it, like it's tapped, but it's like spilling out over, and he's like, oh.
I keep him from spilling it. Whoa, monsieur, mon frere.
Just like a Three Stooges skit is unfolding in the front of the just
most of the beer back inside.
Yeah, get it all back inside.
I'm gonna take Mage Hand and just put my tankard over there and fill it up and bring it back.
It's pretty good. It's very flavorful. It's not overly strong. It's just a good, tasty brew.
So what do you think, Cookie? Eh? He's got the job, eh?
Oh, absolutely. Tell you what, kid, I got a little brewing setup that I haven't really been getting a lot of use out of these days. I'll show you around after you're done dinner. He's kind of like, thank you, Mr. Cookie.
And I'll go get a piece of cake and bring it over to William and flop it down in front of him and say, "Congratulations on your first job, eh?" And walk away.
He's very happy. He eats the cake.
Got a big W on it for winner.
With my finger.
Well, there would have been W on the cake for Warlocks, but whatever.
So are we 4 at this table? Just us 4?
You guys and William, because the inn has emptied out for the night. Anybody who was staying there has gone to their rooms, and the Mercs are not there to perform tonight. They're still in Waterdeep. So,
I'm gonna look to the others and just be like, we should really decide once William goes off to work with Cookie. We should really sit down and discuss some business matters of what to do next.
all right. So William finishes his stuff, and Cookie goes to show him around and get him some accommodations. And you guys are left alone. You have run of the crab shack.
Okay. So I'm gonna look to the others and just start off with, there are a few things I feel like we should tack out, but I feel like the very first is and I quickly fill Richard and Gia in on what Kithray and I had discussed about Star Mountains, and trying to decide when would be the best time to go to try to get this girl out of these labs, because, and I'm just gonna say, we could go now, but we're all pretty tired. As much as I want to get her out immediately, I don't know how well we do in our current state without any rest. So, and how far is it? Would we know if we looked at like a map how far Star Mountains would be from where we are?
It's a bit of a ways away. If you guys take a look at the map that I have up on Roll20 here.
Hey, over there.
Yeah, it's right here, and you guys are just here. I'll mark it with a purple dot.
Yeah, I think we need more information, eh?
You guys are there.
Okay. Yeah, I think we need more information. Maybe we get somebody to see if they can put the sneaky eye on them from a distance, eh?
Do you really want to? I'm just more worried. This organization is known for taking creatures and being none too friendly to them or their desires for their own bodies. So every moment we aren't there is another moment that something could be happening to not only William's sister but others. And I'm all for science, but maybe not like this.
Oh, one more thing. I don't think I told you guys, eh? This place where he was, when William was looking for his sister, he said the thing that was there saw him. So when he tried to see her, he is being seen as well. So maybe describe, maybe don't work anyway.
If we're worried about detection, we can always. I kept a note of those anti-magic sight glyphs that we learned in the last town. They're in my book. So if we're worried about detection, we can always put those on. But
I think it's more about finding them, eh? That mountain range is huge.
That's a good point. Man. Maybe someone in that region would know.
Nobody said it was going to be easy.
No, I think we try maybe to find someone to have a magic look, and if that don't work, we get a lot closer and ask the locals, eh? Or look at me being investigator, eh?
Yeah.
It's a hell of a lot better than being a father. I tell you, I hate that shit, that responsibility. Where's that beer?
Another thought too is I am a man of the book. I know my way around other colleagues, the jargon and such. I don't necessarily find this kind of stuff tasteful, but I could easily pass as a scholar looking to join their associations. That is also always an option.
Well, and I can back you up with that.
Oh, okay. Oh
Chances
yes.
are, if I go in, they're going to want to experiment more on me.
Yeah, you I think maybe are a totally different kind of bait, eh?
Perhaps Penn and I can be bringing Richard in, and along with Guy, perhaps as
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 me,
bait.
eh? What else I gonna go as?
Put me in. I'll do it, but if you put me in chains, you won't live to see tomorrow.
We can just
Noted.
make it look like chains. We don't have to do it. We can make an illusion or something. So what are we feeling? What as a collective unit? Because we can ask. I always say his name wrong. Is it Calthazar?
Calazar.
Calazar. Okay, I always put the TH there. We can ask Calazar to try to look, maybe give him the rings and see if he can find where last they looked. But I mean, we're also worrying that might alert them more to what we're doing. So we can start with that if you'd like, maybe in the morning, and then head out from there. If that's what everybody wants to do, if that sounds like a good plan.
I'm not too worried
I
about
like
being
this plan.
sneaky. We have
Rest
never been
first.
sneaky before.
All right, then we'll start there. Second order of business, and I pull out the amulet of the holy amulet of Tamora, and I kind of motion to Key 3, saying we have two magic. Well, I know this one's magic. I don't know about this other one, this water pendant we have, but we should really try to figure out what these do since we're carrying them around, because they could either be useful to us or useful for our coffer. So either I can take tonight when I go up to my room and study them both, or I can study this one and someone else can take the other. It is completely up to you all.
I don't have the skills to really study these, so somebody else can.
I'm what you call a tree person. That's where my skills lie.
And I'm just going to sit and I'm going to turn to Guy and be like, and you've already got enough with fatherhood, so I'm just going to, kind of reach my arm out to, take the other one from Key 3, at least for now, just so I can go study them later.
Yeah, I can't tell you what they are anyway. Eh?
All right.
And lastly, name. We don't have a name. We have 4 locks. We have, what were the other? Did anyone else have an idea?
I think we should call ourselves 3 heroes.
3?
3?
Just to keep everyone guessing, eh?
3 heroes and that one asshole.
It's just like, well, which one is
I
it?
wonder which one that is.
Yeah.
Asshole and the nice people, eh?
All of my ideas involve trees, so
Maybe not the most applicable to the.
it is not.
We
The
could
only
be,
other- Go
we
ahead.
could be AKA squared. We could be the Avalon Knights Arcane Association.
That's not so bad, eh?
Yeah.
I like that one.
Okay, well, if that's what everyone wants, then we can happily go with that, at least for now. And I'm just gonna take a small piece of parchment and write it like about the size of a business card and just jot that down. AKA with a little 2.
AKA squared. All right. I like that. That's clever.
AKA.
Also known as squared. Love it.
All right, so that's everything.
We almost got the logo already. All we got to do is add a little 2.
Yeah, that's you're partially way there. Team squared. I love it. Okay.
And then I'm just going to turn to the others. Is there anything else specifically that any of you wanted to discuss or, go about before we break off for the night?
I want to spend a minute talking to Cookie.
Sure.
I'll wander in the back to the kitchen. I assume that's where he always is.
Oh yeah, he's he's cleaning things up for the night and preparing things up for breakfast.
So I walk up to him and, hey, Cookie, how's the war wound? And without waiting for him to ask, I cast Healing Hands on him.
Okay.
Points.
All right.
And I just want to say thank you. I kind of throw you under the bus today to help that kid, and you went on your own under the bus. I appreciate the shit out of that, eh?
Oh, one thing I learned about this place is it's got a habit of attracting folks that don't have anywhere else to go. And we've all been in the space of that young boy, and I'm more than happy to accept folks like that with open arms.
I really appreciate
the healing.
No problem, my friend, eh? We're going to go get that kid's sister, eh?
You make sure you find her and mess up the fellas that hurt him.
I promise you that, eh? And you want to know the real secret? She's the one who actually make the beer.
Oh, well, we better get the set then.
He just help a little bit, eh?
Oh, we better get the set and make sure we got the good stuff flowing.
Until then, maybe you watch him so he don't make poison, eh? I drink almost anything, but I don't want to be blind. Eh?
Making poison's usually my job.
You grow more interesting by the minute, my friend. Okay, you go good night, eh?
Oh, you haven't tried my mead yet.
No, I have not, eh? Maybe after we get the girl.
Absolutely. I learned the recipe when I was under the grip of an aboleth way back then.
Hang on a second. Maybe I lean right into him. Maybe you smack me a little bit. I just said something really responsible, eh?
This life maybe agrees with you.
Either that or there's something in this beer, and I finished the beer. You keep the rest of that cask for you, eh?
No problem. I'll polish it off before bed.
And I wobble down.
Wobble back to bed?
Yeah.
All right.
If no one else said anything, I'm gonna head up to my room as well and spend as much of the night, while still getting a reasonable amount of sleep for someone who stays up researching stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Trying to figure out what these are and what they do and how we can use them.
All right.
I'm going to spend a little time in my room landscaping.
Very well. That is something you can do in your room. You can set up a little friggin' garden in there.
If that's the case, I'm going to quickly stick my head out of my room and yell, "Pen! Pen!"
I'm gonna reach out. I'm assuming our rooms are like.
Yeah, you're close enough that you can hear him. And
I'm just gonna reach out with my mind to be like, I'm kind of in the middle of something. What's up, Richard?
You want any herbs planted?
Would I need? Well, actually, wait a minute. Now that he says that,
get a list.
I'm gonna flip through my book and I'm going to. It's not descriptive in the description, and herbs that must be okay. I'm just gonna. It just says herbs, so I'm gonna just say, actually, yeah. If you could just plant some herbs, Guy and I actually use those when we create our familiars. So it would be nice to have a steady supply of those. Just any herbs will do, as far as I'm aware.
Cool, wolfsbane it is.
Do you like
incredibly poisonous wolfsbane?
Do you like cumin? How about parsley?
I could always use more time.
Ah!
Oh.
I heard that. No.
Oh, so yeah.
Why not? Time as well.
I'm loving this idea that fucking Richard's just like growing this, like he has a herb garden set up in his place.
Well, it's either grow it in my room or literally grow it on me.
Yeah, right.
You just get a little seed packet.
It's like moss.
What do you need this time?
A little tiny bonsai on each shoulder.
Nice. I love every part of this. Okay, so
My description has like little twigs growing off him anyways.
Oh, it's right. Okay, yeah. So it's already there.
yeah, Richard is gardening. Penn is studying. Kithri,
I will take some time with the sword, just kind of practicing in my room.
all right. Spend some time practicing in your room. There has been a training dummy moved up to your room. It's not as advanced as the ones in the training hall. It's just kind of like a simple straw one for you to practice your technique on. All right. So while you practice, your sword reaches out to you and says, "What is on your mind?"
Just trying to go through, stay in shape, keep my mind off of events to come.
Well, we shall defeat any foe that comes our way.
It's true. It's what I set out to do.
Is it important that our confidence remains unshakable? Good thrust. And then, Guy, you just go wobble up to your room and go to sleep?
Yeah, for probably the first time ever, he just looks at the audience and just yeah, tomorrow, and stumbles off to bed.
Too many kids lately.
Yeah.
It could be like a Truman Show thing. Just audience loves to watch you sleep.
It's a favorite thing. All right.
Let's just put it this way: there's no curtains. They watch everything. So
yeah, everything goes on.
Yeah.
So, before everyone eventually goes to sleep, does anybody want to do any additional things? No? All right. So, Penn, you're doing research. I want you to roll arcane check with advantage for taking the time to really research these things.
Okay. Do I do them for both or both individually?
Do it for each individually.
Okay, so the first one.
Okay.
And then the second one. Oh.
Wow. All right. So we'll say the first one is for this vial of water.
Mm-hmm.
From the way that it reacts and moves in the vial, you're not certain what it contains, but it does originate from the plane of water.
Can I tell if it's living?
You're unable to discern whether or not it's living.
Okay.
But whatever's inside there comes from the elemental plane of water.
I'm going to venture a guess and say we have a fire elemental and a water elemental now.
Potentially. The other one is a holy amulet.
Mm-hmm.
You're not able to discern what precise powers it would be, but somebody who worships this deity would be able to use this to kind of reach out and channel their divinity.
Okay. Neat.
And that's what you're able to discern from those. All right.
I'm good till the next morning. Yeah.
You're good till the next morning? All right. Everyone, make a wisdom save for the night.
Okay. Every night. Oh, no.
Oh
boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
So Kithri and Richard make it out this time.
Wonderful.
But Guy, tired from drink and his experiences, doesn't this time. But I'm going to do Guy second. Penn, you're first. So in the night, again, as you all rest in your beds, these shadowy black tendrils come up through the floorboards. In Kithri's room, again, they try to circle her. And this bright flame ignites from her chest, and this time it ignites down her blade as well, and forces the tendrils to retract. In Richard's room, the tendrils come up through the floor and attempt to encircle him as well. And a mysterious gust of wind, like someone cast fairy fire, lights up the room. And the tendrils are forced to retract. However, in Penn's room, the tendrils circle him, take hold, and begin to infiltrate his mind. Penn, you dream that you are continuing your research. And you're reading voraciously and you're consuming information. And the book that you always carry with you with the eye on it floats up in front of you and begins to look at you. And it blinks and it stares right at you. And you hear a voice from the back of your room. And it looks like a man in a suit, but his face is this black mist, this smoke, and all you can see is a smile in the center of it. And it says, "It has so much to teach you. If you only knew what it had to say. There's a lot of knowledge here that could be shared with you. If you had the right means." Mr. Penwright. So what do you say to this guy?
I guess naturally I'd be saying, what means do I need?
Well, I am the type of entity that can make things happen for people. But I need those people to be loyal to me. Nothing given, nothing gained. I'm sure you're familiar with the phrase.
Mm-mm.
So I would need you to give something to me. And I could share with you more knowledge than you could ever imagine.
What is it that you want from me? There's not much left, as you can see.
Well, there's always something you can do. And he raises an arm and moves his hand like this, and the wall fades away and you're looking up over the keep. And he points to the mage tower. Put a crack in the bricks on the east wall. Simple enough.
Why would you want a crack in the keep of the east wall, and who are you?
These are not important questions.
If you are not my patron, then this does not concern me. I crave knowledge, but I can find it on my own. This place has already lent more than enough to me, and you have yet to prove anything.
Perhaps I need to be more explicit. And then he moves his hands like this, and you turn back to the pages and you can no longer read them. You can have my limitless knowledge, or I can take your ability to gain any. It's almost midnight. Make your choice. And all your books turn to ash. And he fades away. And then you wake up and you're in your room.
Okay. What time is it?
It is late at night. It's past midnight. It's almost 3 o'clock.
Theoretically, could I sneak down and out of my room down in the area?
Yeah, you can take a look around.
I'm going to take a piece of chalk.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk my way down sneakily down to the east wall.
Okay.
And I'm going to find a brick.
Okay.
And I am going to write the words, "a crack," and draw something mildly profane. And then I am going to, do one of these finger guns and walk back up to bed.
Oh, you. I love it. I as a DM, I love this move. I'm so sorry for what comes next for you. All right. So, Guy. You dream that you are back home, being shunned for your actions. There's a tribunal of Aasimar judging you. And everything stops. And you see sitting next to you this man in a black suit with a smoking black head that you cannot discern any physical shape. And there's just a bright white smile in it. And he says, "You hide behind that mortal exterior. Is it because you know they'll find you eventually and make you answer for the things you've done? And this is the price for standing outside the norm, isn't it? But what if there didn't have to be a price? Is that something that would interest you, Guy Boutons?"
Nice try. The price is part of the fun, eh? Sometimes the joke is on you, sometimes the joke is on them. Now, where the fuck is Eris Discordia?
She's unavailable, sir, currently. I was able to capture you in a weakened state. But the joke is never on me. I always make certain of this.
Who are you?
These are unimportant questions.
So you won't tell me, eh? That means it makes a difference. That means I can find out.
You are an impetuous bunch.
I'm a prick.
Indeed.
And let's be done with this bullshit accent. What the fuck do you want?
I want a favor.
Of course you do.
I want you to kill the vampire.
The waiter? You want me to kill the waiter? Oh, shit. You must be pathetic.
It's almost midnight. The choice is yours. If you do something nice for me, I'll do something nice for you. He gets his meals from Cookie. There's lots of things you could slip in there that'll give a vampire a very bad day. make your decision soon. My arrival is pending.
Yeah, sometimes the joke's on me, eh? You done?
For now. Sleep well, Guy Boutomps. And then you wake up.
Second I wake up, I start praying like mad to Eris Discordia, like I have never prayed before.
And you feel like her protection just fill the room as you kind of recover your strength from it.
My ladies, somebody... No, wait a minute. My ladies. Someone tried to get me tonight. They won't. You have my undying patronage.
It is as I showed you in the vision. Be careful.
You know you fight fire with fire, right? So what do you fight chaos with? And I crack my knuckles.
That's my champion.
As my ladies wish.
All right. And the rest of the night is uneventful. And we come up on morning. Breakfast is late.
I'm in the back looking for Cookie.
He's in the back. He's preparing it.
I'm late to breakfast anyway, because the moment I wake up, I am pulling some of the Eldritch tomes off the shelf, looking for some very specific information, but we won't get into it now. I'm just doing some research for some things, and I'll leave it at that, and then I'll stumble down to breakfast later.
Very well.
I'll be downstairs, just casually making toothpicks out of splinters.
Excellent. So proactive, Richard. He's always got something going on.
I'll just be practicing, like taking the toothpicks and like trying to stack them up together.
Perfect.
Oh,
K3 is the only person who hasn't seen this thing yet in this party.
can we do the little, the flicking the little paper square? And
Yeah, no, go for it.
Tabletop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just going to make a little tiny triangle of wood. Pass it to Key 3.
Flick. All right. So, Guy, when you find Cookie's like, oh, my apologies, a little late getting out of bed this morning. And,
Healing without even a word, just healing hands on him again for 4.
Okay.
Whether he needs it or not. You need a hand? I think the boy, maybe he could help you in here too, eh?
Oh, let him sleep. I'm sure he's been through enough. I'll have everything ready for you in a couple minutes.
All right. I make you a deal, Cookie. You tell me when shit goes bad and I help, eh?
As soon as I know when shit's going bad, I'll let you know.
Okay, buddy. And I head back out to the table.
All right. So eventually breakfast is brought out and prepared for everybody. It is kind of eggs Benedict today on a nice piece of toast. It's passed out for everyone. And Calazar comes up to your table and says, I did some work on your finger the other night, and I have good news. And
Yes?
today he is a human again.
That good news is...
Yes, the good news is I got some information. See, I tried scrying with the finger to track down the location of the rest of the person. But someone is blocking it. A lot of magic users, apparently. But that did give me an idea after looking at the emblem and discerning its purpose. I took some time and talked to Wormspit, and he said that through the goblinoid grapevine, that a number of goblins, hobgoblins, and bugbears have been disappearing along the Ice Shield lands. Could be something. They say they winged creatures come in the night and spirit them away to the Star Mountains.
Well, that sounds like maybe the thing we ran into and heading to the place where they are.
Ah, good work, team. He walks out. Someone drew on the mage tower last night. I've got to strip it off.
Oh, man.
I did not draw anything obscene on the mage tower. Well, maybe I was pretty drunk. I actually would like to turn to Key3 if I can.
Okay.
Key3, I have a huge favor to ask you. I will pay you if that's what it take. Can I ask you? I know it won't do him any real good, but for his sort of morale, could I ask you to spend like half an hour teaching the kids like some basic dagger stuff? He ran away, right? That can't feel very good, eh? Maybe make him feel a little brave.
Yeah, I can spend some time and teach him at least, how not to hurt himself and look scary.
I would really appreciate that. I will owe you a big favor, right?
Can I hear any of this conversation? Or
Yeah, you're at the table.
At the table, yeah.
okay, I'm just gonna start making a wooden dagger.
That's very nice. I was going to ask you, but I think maybe he's a little bit frightened of you, eh?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you know what? If you give him that dagger and tell him it's from you, I bet that would help, eh?
No, I think I work best as the terrifying monster people like to tell their children about.
I understand, eh? Well, I appreciate the hell out of it, eh?
Yeah.
William
Anything for a kid.
William comes in and kind of sleepily sits down at the table, and Cookie brings him some breakfast. And his bread is cut into little shapes, and this is all special. And happily eats it up. He's not putting on his human form anymore. It's just like, thanks so much, everybody.
Hey, William. Once you're done with your breakfast, I wanted to offer to show you how to use a dagger. That way, if you're ever in a situation again, you can at least defend yourself.
Really? You'd do that for me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna slide the little wooden dagger over. This is from Key.
Ah, neat. Thanks a lot, tree guy.
Give Tree Guy a friendly elbow in the ribs.
No problem. Demon boy.
He's kind of playing around with it.
Finish your breakfast first, and then we'll go.
All right, I'll finish up my breakfast. He has his breakfast.
I
When
just
he's not looking, I give Key3 like a big double thumbs up. Just like, yeah, thank you.
I just look tired, disheveled, I'm still
Disheveled?
Because
yeah.
you had the long night and then you got up and graffitied the wall.
I've got books at the table. Like I'm eating breakfast and listening, but I'm just like, looking over tomes and stuff, and just very passively to the others, I slide the water amulet back over to Key3, like still kind of in the middle, but her, and I'm like, that has something from the water plane in it. I am going to assume it's an elemental, but that's about as much as I could glean. This other one I'm going to have to hold on to for just a little bit longer. I have not quite cracked it, but I'm on it. I still only know it's a holy symbol. That's about it.
Okay.
Very well.
Did it take you all night to figure that out? I don't mean to be rude, but you look like shit, eh?
It was a long night. It was a long night, and I just go back to reading.
Okay, two of us. That's two of us. Anybody else have a shitty evening last night? I guess.
I slept like a baby.
I woke up briefly to fairy fire. That's not unusual.
Worst euphemism ever.
Not a euphemism.
Yeah, I just very muttered under my breath. I'm just like, I'm trying to never sleep again.
Okay.
Well, if I can give you a piece of advice, my advice I got from a ghostly horse. Don't trust your dreams.
Ah,
I feel like that requires so much context.
I give none.
I'm just gonna write it off. That's Richard at this point. I'm just like,
That's
That's
Yep.
a long sentence for him. I mean, frankly, that was like 5 or 6 words.
this is on brand. This is
I have a mission. I can
Yep.
do fun root stuff. I'm Richard.
I talk to ghost horses.
That's the big one. That's
Yeah.
his party trick.
Yeah.
Ah,
All right, so I guess we finish up breakfast, and then Q3 teaches the boy dagger play.
all right. So where do you want to take him to teach him some dagger play?
I will take him to the training grounds.
Sure. You can take him out to the training house.
Yeah.
Can I go along with and carve some stuff?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. There's a lot of workbenches and stuff in there, so
I am allowing myself 1 extra dad beer for breakfast, so that's 3.
give me another beer, sport. It's just like-
Soon I'll look like Kevin.
there you go. All right. So yeah, you go out and train him. He's very enthusiastic, and he kind of follows all your expertise. How do you train him? What does this look like? Paint me a picture, Keith.
So I will first show him kind of like how to hold the dagger and like draw it and thrusting motions, and then using one of the training dummies kind of point out like, okay, these are the areas you want to here are the like weak spots, and give the example, and then let him go, and then kind of give him some tweaks, and emphasize that daggers are not toys.
Okay.
They're dangerous weapons.
you mom him a little bit. All right, that's beautiful. I love every part of it. He gets really excited, and the one time that he actually kind of like does everything correctly, and he actually lands a hit, and he's very excited, and he kind of gives you a little hug, and he's like, "Thank you so much." And then he gets kind of stops and gets a little sad. He's just like, "You remind me a bit of my big sister. She was always teaching me stuff like this."
Well, we're gonna try and bring your big sister back so she can keep teaching you stuff.
I'm glad, and I trust you guys, and I believe in it. She's the only family I got, and our family used to be really well known and really well liked, but after it got out that Mom fell in love with a demon, even if he was a good demon, well, the family name didn't survive so well, and he's kind of playing with the daggers more.
Well, you can always turn things around. You can always go back and reclaim your family's name with good deeds.
That's what we try to do. Gonna make famous ale brewing sometime. As soon as we get sister back. But anyway, so how did I do the thing again? And he kind of does.
I'm going to be carving a little tiny model of him.
Aw.
And just once it's done, like after an hour or two more of Key 3 teaching him,
Yep.
it's going to be, hey, kid,
Hmm?
come over here for a moment.
He comes over. What is it, tree guy?
This is for you.
Wow. You're really good at this wood carving stuff, aren't you?
I kind of have to be.
I guess so. Thanks. This is amazing.
Yeah. You ever want to learn how? Let me know.
I think I might. Melissa always told me we had to hide from everybody. You're the nicest bunch of people I've ever met.
Yeah. Well, when you get to be as weird looking as I am or you are, hiding generally seems like the best idea, but it's really, really boring.
Yeah. I think I like this a lot better. He goes back over and he does some more lessons with Kithri. Kind of sets his little figurine aside and keeps looking at it, trying to match its pose.
That is exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, just like it.
Lunging stance.
Yeah. He's all over it. All right. Guy, Penn, what are you guys doing while this is happening?
First key.
Okay. I'm going back to talk to Cookie again.
All right. Cookie is working away in the kitchen. People have started flowing in from neighboring towns and off the road.
I'll just start peeling potatoes or whatever.
Just whatever to help out in there.
I'm not good at it. I've probably never done it before in my life, but I'm trying.
He goes, "You're lucky I like you, Guy. I'm usually pretty finicky about folks doing work in the kitchen."
Oh, I understand if you throw out everything I did after I leave, I'm okay with that. This skin is really thick. It doesn't look like it, but it is.
I won't tell you either way.
I just wanted to thank you again and ask you to keep an eye on the kid while we're gone, eh?
No problem. I'll make sure me and Tommy keep a close eye on him. Calazar too, although he's not terribly reliable at watching things.
And I tell you what, Cookie, this is really going to suck if his sister's not alive, eh?
Well, it's important to have faith. Sometimes all you got left is something to believe in. And he keeps doing his work.
Okay, buddy. Well, I tell you what, you believe for both of us, eh?
Indeed, I will.
And I'm out the door.
All right. And Penn, what are you doing?
I'm still frantically reading through these Eldritch books. And for a moment, I take a moment to also think about my place in the academy.
Okay.
And I'm going to go try to find Wormspit specifically.
Very well. Wormspit is out supervising work in the keep. So you find him there, and he's got a kind of clipboard, and he's checking stuff off, and occasionally he makes sure that everybody is getting water. He's like, "Hog Swallow, it's time for your break. Make sure you take your breaks. They're allotted to you. It's important. It's in the charter. You do what you want. This is your time." Yes, Mr. Penn. What can I do for you?
Yes, Master Wormspit. I just
please don't call me Master.
As you wish. What exactly? I didn't truly read through our paperwork that we filled out, last time. And I just wanted to know if you have a copy on yourself, which I could read, and also if you could just summarize what exactly what our expectations or what we're entitled to, or what our place is here at the academy.
Well, the original contract given to the other team entitled them to much of the physical space and its operations. However, you guys have full reign over all the extra dimensional spaces currently within the ownership of the academy.
There are extra dimensional spaces within the academy?
Yes.
Who would I go to know more about this information?
Calazar manages most of it. A lot of it is in the Mage Tower and the Keep, although there are some other access points.
Okay.
Puppy's excited.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Wormspit.
It is a pleasure to be of service.
And I'm just going to go. I'll save that for another time, but I'm going to go back to my room and back to my Eldritch studies because I'm pretty concerned.
All right. What are you specifically looking for?
I am specifically studying. I'm trying to make sure I don't cross a line here, but
No, go for it.
My character may have heard that there is a potential way to not have to sleep anymore, specifically for those of my background, and I'm just looking for any way to possibly figure out exactly how one goes about learning that, because I don't ever want to go to sleep again. Not to mention it was already something that was a useful thought, because I stay up all night studying anyway. If I never had to sleep again, hey, more power.
This is just so inefficient, and now it's unpleasant. It's just I don't want any part of it. So this is such a Penn thing to do, because I thought you were researching to try and figure out what this entity was, but no, it's just Penn is like, this is a problem. Here's the easiest solution. Let's figure out how we get from.
Buy myself a little more time, and then maybe I can learn what this thing is, since I've probably pissed it off.
I love that. I completely misread what you would have been researching. Yeah. Okay. So you're not making a ton of headway on that, but you're working on it. All right. So everybody goes about their business, and
I need like 10 seconds with Tommy.
Okay.
Let's walk over to I'm assuming he's at the bar. He's the bartender.
Yeah,
walk up to him and say, my friend, my very good friend with the alcohol on that side of the table there, a dude in a black suit and a furry head just made out of smoke. He told me to kill you last night. I'm not going to do it. I just thought you should know, eh? Turn around and walk out the door.
Tommy's like, what was in that ale? And he turns to Mist, and Lynn like comes up beside you as you're leaving.
Whoa, I'm never going to get used to that.
Sorry, my apologies. What
It's
do you
okay,
mean?
my friend.
What do you mean by a furry head?
His head, it was like made out of black smoke, eh? Not like the pretty misty stuff you go in, but that black, like bad evil, eh? And he said I'm supposed to kill you or he's going to do bad things to me, eh? He's never met my patron, eh? She would kick his ass 14 times before Monday morning, eh?
That's very interesting.
So you just watch yourself, eh? I like the way
Indeed.
you mix my drinks. I don't want to have to find a new bartender.
And I will continue to do so. Thank you for this information, Guy. And he goes back to the bar.
Shit. There we go. Yeah, and I got a sudden urge to be out in the sunshine.
All right, you go outside and enjoy the sunshine. All right. So everybody, there's tender family moments happening in the training hall, and Penn is looking for answers and finding some and not finding all the ones that he's looking for. And Guy is telling people that fuzzy heads are trying to kill them. Eventually, do you guys reconvene?
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
I'm also going to take a moment, drink a lot of water. Like a lot of water.
Just like a lot of water. Just like.
Yeah, like I'm just going to, like we sit down for lunch. I'm just going to ask 2 buckets.
Okay. And they give it to you.
And
All
it's
right.
fascinating how quickly I drink these things.
Lovely.
My foliage looks greener and more bright.
It's almost like he feels at home now, and then he can really put on the foliage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little tiny purple flower grows.
Ooh.
But he's not going to tell you where.
Yeah. And now it's weird.
You can see where I'm not growing there.
All right.
Have you ever tried that with beer? I just wonder what you would grow if you drank 2 gallons of beer.
hops.
I look at Guy for just a very brief moment, and I wave over for a barrel.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Tommy brings you a barrel, sets it down next to you.
Yeah, I just guzzle it down. Wheat starts growing off my arm.
I don't want to know where the ops are growing.
William is there having lunch with you all, and he's just stunned by this. He's just like, this is amazing.
Speaking of which, I lean over to Key3 and say, I wasn't kidding, eh? I owe you.
Well, I will keep that in mind. My grandfather always said it's better to have a favor owed than owe a favor to someone else.
There you go.
I think your real grandfather was much smarter than the fake one we saw the other day. I also don't think he would be disappointed in you.
Aw.
Oh, thank you.
To break
Okay,
up
I
this
need
very-
more beer. Hey, there's more beer for me.
I'm also going to harvest my wheat and hand it over to Will. You can make something with this, right?
Oh, probably.
Awesome.
So what's the plan to get my sister back?
I finally look up from what I'm reading and remember that that's something I should be more concerned with. And
That's right. That's a thing we're working on.
I
Well,
pick a piece of wheat off of Richard and stick it into my book as a bookmark and close it, and then I turn to Key3 because I heard her talking.
Love this moment. Okay, go ahead.
Perhaps we should look into the goblinoids. Maybe they can help direct us.
I think it might be wise to talk to Wormspit and see if he can either give us a contact in that region or perhaps someone to accompany us just to communicate and to help with that general, cultural barrier.
Because
That
we have a general location, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then
An approximate area, and we have some other clues to work with as well.
then for whatever it counts, my vote is for talking to Wormspit and heading to the general location. See what we can pick up.
That does sound like the best idea. I would say that once we get there, we lie low until we see some of these creatures trying to make off with.
Hey, William, why don't you go in the back and help Cookie?
All right, I'll go give him a hand. And he goes back.
Bring
there.
that wheat.
Yeah,
Good wheat.
definitely. He goes back in there.
But I'd say we either need to find a way to put some way of tracking one, and I turn to Richard with a slight grimace and I'm like, or we may need to slightly bind one so that we can force it to lead us there and then immediately let it go or kill it, whatever, I'm flexible.
We crush the fucking thing to within an inch of its life, and it tells us what we want to know, and then we fucking kill it. Repeat.
That one. We're going with that one.
That's also reasonable.
All right.
There are times to talk, and believe me, I talk on those times, eh? I talk even sometimes when it's not the time to talk, but this time I'm still talking. Why am I still talking? Let's do something.
Okay, we can head out. The only thing I would say is the less commotion we cause going into this place, the deeper we can get before we are noticed, and the more commotion we can raise once we are inside. So, just a thought.
Just tell me when you want the commotion to start, eh?
Okay.
I'm also not incredibly fond of this, but if you need, put me into a sack and carry me in as a prisoner.
Okay. We could perhaps do that as well. Like, let one of them take you, or come as ourselves and be like,
we're scholars, we're coming to join you, haha, and here is our
Yeah,
Specimen.
Yes, specimen.
we escort him there like he's our maybe not prisoner, but I mean, I'm sure he's not going to come willingly. But maybe we are surrounding him, and he knows better than to run away, right?
Yeah. Besides, I can cast a few minor illusions. Should be able to
Yeah, I mean,
hide the fact I'm not actually bound or gagged.
it shouldn't be difficult to outthink the goblins, eh? Wormspit, sorry, not you, buddy, not you.
Oh, he's not there. He's still supervising.
Panic just in case. The last thing I want is the goblins pissed off at me.
All right.
They've got a
All right.
union.
We can tack out the details on the way, but we should at very least go speak with Wormspit and get headed on so we can get there quickly.
All right.
Agreed, let's go, eh?
All right. So you find Wormspit, much where Penn left him. He's still supervising the work crews, working at restoring the keep currently, ensuring everybody's taking their breaks and everybody has appropriate lunches. So there's a healthy meals program. So he's just going over, making sure everybody's organized and taken care of. Ah, yes, Mr. Penn and your associates. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well, Mr. Wormspit. We have a bit of business with something that you spoke with Calazar upon the other evening. The goblins up near I believe it was the ice shelf?
Ice Shield lands. Yes, it's just to the north of High Forest and a little bit to the east of Star Mountains. Yeah, the goblinoids that in my network, I've noticed that a couple people are being abducted in the nights by winged creatures. I assumed gargoyles, but it could be something else.
We think we may have a lead on that very issue, but we would need to be able to be in contact with the goblins of that region. Do you have a contact, or would you be able to lend us someone that could speak on our behalf? We don't know how amicable the goblins of that goblinoids of that region are.
Well, your prejudgment saddens me, but you're not incorrect. It is true that most of my kind and my kin do not share my penchant for nonviolence, and much of them have still given into their baser instincts that reside in the area. I do, however, have a shining star in the area, somebody that I've come to correspond with regularly. He was once a bugbear warlord, but now is looking towards a more quiet life. And I think there's real potential in him as a true leader. But he has said that along with the troubling disappearances of his people in the area, there's also a large amount of, he calls them talky humans, that have started showing up in the town of Belaird. And some of them even solicited him if he needed any special equipment for any sieges or campaigns. Might be a good place to start.
Thank
And
you.
certainly I can give you his information if you'd like to make contact with him out there. He has a camp in the area along the Ice Shield lands. He's, of course, doing his best to defend his people against these attacks currently. But if you're an ally of his, many people in the area will not bother you.
Okay.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah. I'll take note of all this and like any information, any contact information he gives me.
All right. His name is Ogbok the Manslayer.
Ah,
It is an old name. He has turned over a new leaf. Please do not prejudge him.
Well, it's a good thing that more than 50% of us aren't really men.
I would never. But I guess yeah, that's pretty much all we need to know. Is there anything we should take to show our connection to you so that we can prove, that we are indeed friends of the Academy?
Let him know that Wormspit sends his regards, and I will send him a description of the cart so that he doesn't raid you.
Thank you.
Let him know that the awesome troll head is still on.
Yes, that may be enough to deter any of my kind. Maybe not hobgoblins, but
All right.
I have a question, Mr. Spit.
yes, sir.
I am wondering if the brew house has been rebuilt in the process so far.
The brew house? Not quite. Cookie has some rudimentary brewing equipment, but actually we'd never really had a proper brewing facility set up in the keep. Perhaps I should draw something up on the plans.
Well, if we live long enough to earn another cake for happy third mission success, I think maybe we are going to have two very good brewers here. I think maybe a professional place for them to work would be very nice, eh?
It's not a bad idea. It would also make a fine secondary revenue stream for the keep.
Mm.
I'll go over my projections and do up a cost analysis.
And then one night there, you and I sit down and try and drink all the profit, eh?
Oh no, I never touch the stuff.
Okay, I sit down with Cookie and do that then. Hey, thank you, Mr. Spit.
I'm actually a vegan.
Oh, I bet you're going to tell me that 47 times, eh?
No, just the one should be fine. Now then, is there anything else that you require?
Not on that regard. On a side note, that if these two that we have rescued, if their family brewery has kind of dispelled, there may be useful equipment to take from there, if with their approval pending, of course, but that may help with the cost analysis if we can reclaim any of that, but we won't know until we reclaim his sister.
Excellent. Secondhand materials will help. The goblins that we currently have working labor aren't exactly the most skilled carpenters, but we are working to rectify that. I have heard that Kashano and Team Mom are doing their best to find some skilled workers to train some more subordinates.
Just to say, when we do get back, I am an expert wood carver.
Really? Perhaps you can do some training of some of my crews.
That is partly my hope.
All right. I will be speaking with you again when you arrive. I wish you the safest of journeys.
Oh,
And I wish you the safest of staying here where it's safe, eh?
We all have our lots in life. I am a manager and a pacifist.
I am neither of those things. Eh?
As we're walking away to the group, I remember that from the last job we did, we gained 2,500 gold
Yep.
in that pouch, and I'm going to, talking to everybody, but also directing to Keith, since she is the keeper of such things mentioned. We could give a fifth of that portion to the guild, I would say, just, as a cut to them for assigning us the job. That way, if it was ever divided up, it would be even 500 each, and then 500 also to perhaps, I would like to give it to Calazar, maybe get him to work on the mage tower. It would be really nice if he could get us a brass brazier.
So
To quickly interject,
Mm,
just a fifth is 125 gold. I think you mean 20%. Oh no, 5% is what I was thinking. A fifth is what we need. I'm very tired.
I'm afraid the roots have dug into your brain.
It happened long ago.
So, what does everyone think of this? I know this is Keith 3's department, but I just thought I would bring it up.
No, I think investing in our future is an excellent idea.
All right.
So 500 each and 500 for the academy.
Do we want to divide the 500 up amongst ourselves, or do we just want to keep that in-house and just give the 500 to the academy?
You'd have it communal if you'd like.
I'm okay with it being communal. I have a little bit of money that I know is mine, but as far as what we gain from jobs, I don't mind keeping that communal, but that is up to everyone.
Yeah.
Much happier with it being communal.
Yeah, I'm fine with communal.
All right.
And I am outvoted again, eh?
That's all right.
So I guess we find Calazar and on our way out and just make sure to give him that
All right.
with the note that one item on the shopping list is a brass brazier.
All right. He says, yes, I'm not big on shopping. Maybe I'll get one of the goblins to do it. But thank you. This is excellent.
Of course.
Good. Almost got this thing worked out. Safe journey. I hope you don't die.
And then he walks off.
Yeah.
One day I'll have a real conversation with him and I'll figure it out. And I'm gonna take
that's about as close as you get to a real conversation with Galsar.
And I'm gonna turn to the others and I'm gonna be like, you should also know from speaking with Wormspit that as far as I'm aware, he is the man that is kind of in charge of our shares of this place, which we do have shares in this place. They're just interdimensional, extra dimensional. I'm not 100% sure. They're not physical. They're
extra dimensional.
Extra dimensional. It's
so somebody told you we are the proud owners of the spaces that don't really exist?
I mean, you, Guy, and the rest of you know we've been to the spaces that don't exist, and it's more than enough for me.
Every time we go to one, it collapses in on itself almost.
Yes.
To be fair, the first one was a physical space.
My grandfather did make quite a bit of money selling deeds to extra dimensional spaces for a while.
That sounds slightly con-man-ish.
I like him the more I hear about him.
It may not have been entirely legal.
So did the skill set skip a generation? Have you sold any property in a swamp lately?
Oh no, not in a swamp.
You want to get in? I know a really good deal.
We'll think about it.
All right.
And so I guess we work on packing up the cart at this point.
All right.
Yeah.
You pack up the cart.
Someone should talk to Cookie about provisions.
Oh, Cookie is already on it. He comes out and he gives you guys a basket full of assorted travel burritos.
Travel burritos.
There's all different flavors and all different varieties. There's like some chicken, some
You
beef,
can-
some bean, whatever you want.
The reins and eat at the same time. That's awesome.
However, if you eat these particular burritos give you a +1 bonus to your attack rolls for the day.
Oh, wow.
That's much better than what I thought it was going to be. How many are in the pack? Well, I guess we'll figure that out later.
Well, there's 4 of you. There's enough for 2 meals, so there are 8.
Okay. Yeah, we should track down William real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell him we're off to save his sister.
All right. You guys track down William, and he says, I believe you guys can do it. And takes off his ring. Says, here, show her this when you see her. And she'll know that it's okay to go with you.
All right.
E3, I think maybe it's best you take that, eh? You're
Sure.
probably the least offensive looking person. No offense, Pen, but
I'm tired. I look a mess. It's fine.
mascara's running. It's awful.
Part of my jaw is wood. I really.
yeah. You don't think should be the one who makes the presentation. We're here to save you.
No, I think you've got it wrong. We're
I
here to
will
save
take the
you.
ring.
You take the ring? All right. He thanks you. He thanks you again. And he's like, you guys are the nicest people I ever met. And just come back okay. I don't want to lose any more friends.
I'll give him a light pat on the back. We'll be back soon, bud.
All right.
I'm going to remove one of my daggers from my belt
Okay.
and just tie a string to that little card I made with our our official name title on it, tie it to that, and I'm just going to present it to him and be like, a little something from us. Stay safe. And then I'm just going to turn off and walk off.
All right. He goes back, and now he's playing with the dog.
With the knife?
Well, not with the knife. He's got the knife on his belt, but he's playing with the dog.
Just go fetch, boy.
Go get it.
All right.
Oh, I hit someone.
Oh,
Just hand on the kid's shoulder, on William's shoulders, and then walk away because Guy is feeling particularly a weird feeling for him. He's feeling proud at the moment.
yeah.
Not
He's
sure what the hell to do with that.
Guy's going through some stuff. Yeah, that's all right. So you guys set out on your journey,
Mhm.
Yep.
and we'll stop you there. And we'll continue next week.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, that was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This was so much good character development in this
Monster
one.
guys in the mountains. I don't know. Let's find out next week on.
Too Many Warlocks.
I gotta work.
Can you hit the button? That's what you
Ah,
do.
yeah. I gotta work on that a little bit. Hey. So what's everybody working on these days? I know-
Well, Guy has a lovely channel up with a brand new video up. Penn has another brand new video up as well, and he is currently playing Slime Rancher and having a great time with it. Roll for Initiative does their videos up every week, and they have another one about making combat exciting is their most recent one, and I imagine we'll have a new one tomorrow or the next day. When does it come up?
Tomorrow, and then on Thursday, I actually have one about note taking.
Ha! That is a very good lesson to have.
I'm gonna need that one.
Excellent.
So am I.
And of course, you can join us again on Wednesday, where I will attempt to reclaim my honor on Border Dispute, and we will see my humiliation video.
I have training in Civ 6.
Yeah. No, I've seen your training. You're not training. You're addicted, sir. I'm telling you.
I'm figuring this game out.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us for Too Many Warlocks. Look for us every Monday on Mercs of Mischief, or every Sunday on Mercs of Mischief, and every Monday on Too Many Warlocks. And as always, thanks for joining us. And until next time, class dismissed.
Oh, and hey, a quick
What, we
shout out
get
to Penn. A big thank you for editing up that compilation video.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If
Happy to
you
help.
guys
That
need
was
to
awesome.
get caught up, get a little more background on our characters, if you missed the first one, check that out over on a YouTube channel.
All right.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.